Today we're taking a moment to answer all your questions.
The whole Red Bull Monster Energy team.
Plus, we're doing a behind-the-scenes bikini shoot for all of our server and Vimeo viewers. Let's do it. Welcome to Lazy Gecko Sailing. I'm Brittany, and this is Jeremiah.
I came from the mud.
We've been sailing the world and filming it all for you.
Strong like a tree.
Now come along with us on our next adventure.
Oh, I've been wrong.
Make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun.
Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Okay, there's no guarantees. That camera could very well fall right off the...
Yeah, okay.
Right off the thing. It's on the edge.
Okay.
We're gonna do a little Q&A. We Brittany has a list of questions. Right now we are sitting in a marina. We have Wi-Fi. We are in Portsmouth, Virginia, which is right across from Norfolk. We pulled into a marina after traveling from Florida to here. We did like a 3-day, two-night, 3-day passage offshore. Got on the ICW right around Cape Hatteras. Came up the ICW, enjoyed a couple nights, and then pulled in here. And tomorrow we're going to continue on towards Annapolis.
Okay, so this list of questions came from a couple. So basically,
one couple.
Yeah, husband and wife, and they sent in really, really good questions. Some questions we've never gotten before. They are right now living on land, making the transition to move onto a boat and
cool.
go off sailing.
They're gonna get a catamaran or a monohull.
I believe catamaran. You know, but
maybe
you never really know.
our answers will help.
Yeah, you never.
How
really
long
know.
ago did you get these?
Can I speak? You never.
How long ago?
Oh my gosh.
No,
you never really know until you start like boat hunting. So they might end up with a monohull, they might end up with a catamaran.
Yeah, kick it.
It turned out brown for some reason. Okay.
I was going to say the whole Red Bull Monster Energy team. Just kidding. Go ahead.
All right. Jeremiah seems to prefer the monohull in the earlier episodes. I guess when we had a monohull. Is this still true?
I like monohulls, but I like catamarans now. I think.
He's
I like
guy.
the only thing I miss about a monohull is the heeling and like the racing feeling. Now we have had a lot of moments on the catamaran where we're heeling over and racing now, but
we need to let some sail out.
yeah, but I do like the catamaran better now. It is by far easier all the way around, in my opinion. Every single chore on the monohull, because it was 37 Allberg, it was tight, 10.5 foot beam. It was a chore, every single thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I dreaded doing anything. Any type of maintenance meant we had to kick everybody out. It was going to be hot. I had to dig through like everything. It just was, everything was such a chore. And the catamaran is completely the opposite. Everything's open, and like I can just grab my tools and go right to work. And like I said, the only thing really. And I mean, you have like you can rely on it more because you have two engines, and you're not like, do I have that spare part? Do I have that spare water pump? Crap, I don't. I'm offshore. I'm nervous about it because I do a lot of thinking like that. You have a whole other engine, so I mean, there's been a lot of things that have brought me over to the catamaran side. So I'm definitely a recovering monoholic.
Yeah, I definitely say I prefer the catamaran over a monohull easily. If we were to go back, it would have to be a very fat monohull. But you answered my next question, or his next question, which boat is easier to maintain? I would definitely say the catamaran, just because you can easily move about it, even though it's bigger.
And this might be an unfair question for us, really, because our monohull was 30 years old. The engine was, original, and our catamaran is just, now it's 7 years old, but the engines are only 2 years old, and it's a big difference. So if we had like a 45-foot monohull with like a 14 foot beam, these answers might be different.
Yeah, they might be. That's
because
true.
It was a task. I mean, everything was a task. So I don't know. But as far as our situation, yeah, the catamaran.
What would you say about maintenance costs? Relatively the same or more expensive on the catamaran?
Well, you always hear people like, oh, it's double. I don't find it to be double. Maybe an oil change. You know, okay, but that's really not that expensive. On the Lazy Gecko, we had to change the oil every 50 hours because the engine recalled for that was 30 years old. These engines go every 500 hours.
Yeah.
So is it more? No, not in that part. You know, do you get charged more per slip? I never even look at that because I'm always dealing with the boat. She deals with like the books as far as that. But she was telling me recently that we have been charged a little bit more for a catamaran. But is it like how much more?
I mean, if you're gonna pull into marinas, there's always that chance you might have to shop around a little bit more. That also goes to say that you don't have as big as a selection as far as marinas.
Definitely don't, because you call marinas and they're like, oh, I don't have a spot that big. Yeah.
For a catamaran. There's been times where we're charged for one haul. There's been times where we're charged for 40 feet and under, even though we're 44. There's been times where we're charged for 1.5 hauls. But that's few and far between, that 1.5 hauls. So I think over time it kind of evens out. And honestly, if you're cruising, you probably won't be in marinas that much anyways if you're a sailboat. If you're a power boater, you're probably more apt to come into marinas than a sailboat anyways, so the cost is kind of the same.
Yeah,
picking up a ball and things.
As far as maintenance costs though, which the question was, Calypso is extremely high tech. The previous owner put really, really expensive things on it. So whenever something breaks, it's expensive. Yeah. But not all catamarans are like that. So like you might, if you just have a cable going from your throttle to your engine, you don't have to worry about the $5,000 box in the middle of it. So we have a unique situation with this boat where maintenance costs are high when those really high-tech things that you would buy at like the Annapolis Boat Show, when they break. But I wouldn't say, I mean, if you get a good boat, solid boat, I don't think the maintenance costs are going to be that much higher.
Okay, moving on. What tools do we carry on board? I know you're going to say like one of everything. Yeah,
the most important tool you can carry on board a boat is a fly swatter. I'm telling you, man, I was getting torn up. We were getting bees and hornets and all kinds of stuff yesterday on the ICW. But
okay, if you had to name like 1, 2, or 3 necessity tools or tools that you're like, well, I didn't think I need that. What about
you need an oil filter wrench because when you're gone, like offshore or something, and you can't get it off. That's something, you don't want to try to bang a screwdriver through it and break your flange. Zip ties is huge. You want to always have a bunch of zip ties. A Dremel tool, which you was just talking about, that is huge because you can cut stuff. I bought bolt cutters when we first got the boat. I was told you need to have that for in case something failed, but I've never used those.
You did to open up our gun safe.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with the boat.
You still used it.
What else do I use all the time? A battery powered drill. Yeah, absolutely, man. You want it's so much better. Just done. And there's other stuff too, but
those are probably
basically sockets and all that kind of stuff is but that goes without saying. But as far as weird things, I'm trying to think of. I always have a screwdriver, like a multi-head screwdriver, really close, a knife, and zip ties. They're huge.
And then, what about emergency medical supplies?
Yeah, we've kind of gone a little bit overboard for that. But I mean, I have a little bit of a heart condition, so we went ahead and bought a defibrillator for the boat.
Which does adults and children?
Yeah. We have like 2 huge emergency kits. You can buy them through like West Marine, those big, big packet, all kinds of stuff.
We've kind of gone overboard. When we go to the next boat show, I think we'll probably add an IV kit into that. We have EpiPens.
Yeah, we have EpiPens. That's big because you get, you never know, man, and you're offshore. When you're talking about it and all that, you're like, yeah, when I'm offshore, if that happened. But when you're out there, like, I had to reduce my heart medicine because we were running out in Grenada and there's this whole thing. But we were offshore for 12 days. I'm like, damn, man, if something were to happen, you really are way out there. And we learned that a lot of times nobody's coming for you. Like a boat went missing and the governments were arguing whose responsibility it was. And as far as I know, nobody went. So it is good to have that kind of stuff. That's why we went ahead and got the defibrillator. But
we're a little overboard. I also go to the store and just get, a good detailed list of items to kind of cover everything that you can over the counter. And I also go to our doctor. All three of us go and we each get medications for various things, whether it be eye infection, skin infection, you name it. I have it. Amoxicillin if you were to get really, really sick or whatever.
Yeah, if there are any medicines you have to take for long term, it can become an issue. Like with this whole shutdown thing, we couldn't get medicine shipped to Grenada. They wouldn't do it. They won't ship, and it wasn't narcotic. It was just like a heart regulating beta blocker. Wouldn't ship it. So I had to reduce my pills by half to, make it last or whatever. So the pills thing can become an issue. And there was something else I was going to bring up too about pills, but I can't remember what it is.
Okay, what amenities do you have in Calypso that you wish you had from the beginning?
There's a whole bunch of stuff. Dive compressor.
I'm going to say a full shower.
Yeah,
That's really
shower.
nice.
We didn't have a shower. Well, no, we didn't have a shower. We'll just say we didn't have a shower. We had a hose that could hook on the inside thing, but all the walls were made of like non-treated teak. So you couldn't shower inside the bathroom or the head.
And then
we used solar showers.
on the flip side of that, what could you do without if you were to restart the journey, or your budget was different, I guess, with this boat?
Well, Calypso has, I appreciate everything the boat has. It's great. There's a couple things on this boat that I would have been okay if they weren't there. One are the throttle boxes from the yacht commander thing. I wish it wasn't there because it just creates an opportunity for it to fail, which it has. And when it fails, you have a major issue. What's there in place of that, if you don't upgrade to that system, is just some cables. And that's easy to fix. Also, the bow and stern thrusters. Those are very nice. They're very expensive. We didn't put them on. They were already on. They had to drill a hole in the hull to put them on. And they're great, but when we were on this last passage, one just randomly started going off at full speed. We're in like high seas, high winds, bouncing all over. I'm trying to rip apart a Lazarette to get down there to shut off the battery switch. So things like that, like the high-tech things, I could do without.
For me, I think it's just the thrusters, only because I hear how frustrated he gets.
I mean, it's nice to be able to push it over, but
yeah.
Is that it? Just the thrusters?
Yeah, I mean, I love everything. So
that's good.
Do you actually practice man overboard drills with the boat under sail?
Well, I've been trying to get her to let me chuck the dog overboard, but I don't think she really thinks I'd turn around to go finish the drill. I'd be like, all right, drill done.
Whatever. No, we don't do it under sail. I think if we had another person on board, maybe we would.
I mean, I'd rather just throw a pillow out.
Yeah, a lot of people throw out their boat cushions and stuff. We haven't done that. We really should. But we do go through drills all the time.
Yeah, we do a lot of like talking about it and like what would you do in this case? How would you turn the boat? And all that. And really, I mean, it's not that difficult. It is hard as far as like something moving in the sea, but as far as controlling the boat and getting back there, both of us are capable of being able to do that. We also have some other devices that can kind of help with that. And all of our spin locks, we have an AIS device. So if you fall in, it should broadcast AIS right to the boat. So you can see on the screen where the person is. So we have some other things like that help with that situation.
Yeah, we do have a lot of safety things, and we go over it. We've learned how to use it. All of us do. So I feel like we do well in that department.
Yeah. What
was the most daunting task that Jeremiah felt he had to accomplish to make our dream a reality, and what is mine?
Oh, what's yours?
I think letting go, like pushing off the dock, literally letting go, getting rid of a car, getting rid of all of our stuff, learning how to save money.
So the whole process.
The whole freaking process.
Right?
Learning to sail.
You could just say that, just the whole process.
Knowing that my family was dependent on me to operate the boat when they were sleeping or whatever. It was the whole process was hard.
Yeah, I think it was just stopping spending money. When we really got serious about, okay, retirement's coming, this is what we want to do, we had to stop any spending. Even $1 was hemorrhaging in our mind. So I think that was it. I mean, like, there were no movie rentals. We're not going out to dinner on Friday night, and None of that stuff. You're not getting coffee. She was like, I'll make you some coffee. And, it's just probably no spending at all. I don't know, like guys at work, like, hey, let's go over, Friday afternoon, let's go grab some chow at the little, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
I brought my own food. Yeah.
You did really well with that.
Yeah.
He'd text me during lunch, the guys went out, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe you should go this time. No, I'm okay. And
yeah,
so
just
we were
not
both
spending.
Really bought into it. It wasn't that hard for me. I kind of liked.
Yeah, she's really good at that.
Yeah, I loved the control of not spending our money and watching it grow. So we could do this. So that was easier for me.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing to learn for each of you? I think that's kind of the same.
I wouldn't say it was hard, but we didn't have any idea how to sail.
Yeah, that was pretty hard to learn.
We didn't know how to anchor. We didn't know how to sail. I remember we met a couple, and we were asking them, they wanted to know how to do YouTube videos. We had just started, and we wanted to know how to anchor. And we're like, oh man, we can tell them how to do the videos, and then they can tell us how to anchor. I remember I was like, I was so basic. I was like, you go forward and then what? And then you come to a stop, and then what? No idea. And he wasn't very good at explaining it either. He didn't put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, but, learning to sail, learning the wind, the currents, what direction to go, the best way to go about sailing in that condition.
And also trusting, learning, to read the water and trusting the charts and stuff. And I remember when we first started, we had a 6-foot draft, and to me, it was 100 feet. And on the ICW, I was like, if we are not on this red line on the chart, we are running aground hard.
You're still like that. What are you talking about?
And, man, I would I'd be up there, and the boat would be perfect on that line all the way down the ICW. And now, no, I'm not like that. I let it weave a little bit, but we did almost run aground on this trip. But
this person is asking about kitchen stuff. Okay, so they feel like the crock pot, microwave, KitchenAid, Instapot are all necessities. They're also interested in getting a soda water maker. I will tell you, I kept my soda water maker along with the CO2 cartridges, 6 of them,
ones, yeah.
on board for 5 years. Didn't use it once, and all I drink is vodka soda waters. I didn't use it once, and we just threw it out about a month ago.
Oh, we left it.
Yeah.
We put it at the marina.
We gave it to other cruisers, hopefully.
Sure.
So I don't think you'll
the
need that.
Soda stream, leave it at home.
Yeah, it just took up space.
You realize too, and you'll read this as you check into blogs and all that kind of stuff. But when you're doing this, when you're downsizing from that house, and you have all this stuff, and it's all important at the time. But when you go and you do this, first off, if you bring too much, your life becomes very hard, and it's clutter, and it becomes stressful. And then you realize after time, you didn't need any of that. And then a lot of people will keep stuff all their stuff in a storage unit, and they come back to it a couple years later, and they realize all of it can go. Just chuck it all. Why did I keep that? Why did I waste the money? And we have stuff in the storage unit, but we've practiced on this. But don't you find that a lot of stuff you feel like is important, and all that might be important, it sometimes ends up not being important at all. So the most important thing I would say is just stick to the minimum.
You'll be happier with less.
Stick to the minimum, and that's really my only advice. Just stick to the minimum.
So, I often go through and I still dwindle down our kitchen. We have 2 coffee mugs, and then I have 1 more if a guest comes on board. We have very minimal of everything because when you're sailing, you go to get something, stuff's just falling out on you.
You don't need a coffee maker. What you need is a small coffee press.
Yeah, a good one that won't break, that's not glass.
Yeah.
That won't break when it falls.
Right, yeah.
Our coffee French press is very sturdy and hefty.
Metal.
Yeah. So that's a good one. But for necessities, something that I use a lot, which might be my diet, so I don't know what your diet is, a good cutting board with some ceramic knives. I just got some really nice knives. those won't rust, and they usually have a blade on them so you can not cut yourself when you open up a drawer. Good coffee mugs, like fat ones, so you can sit it down and it's not going to fall over in the morning when you have coffee if you're under sail. I also use my blender a lot, and then I have my big blender, and then I have like a small pureer, like a chopper that I plug in. It goes with my Ninja top. I should show you all this actually, and I use that like every single day. As far as dishes, I get the non-sliding ones, so I can just sit them out there, and your dishes and your food isn't going to go flying everywhere. But
like if you make bread, you don't need that thing that does that, because you got your hands, and it's better. And like, you know, the experience, it makes the experience better anyway.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you don't have power to run that unless you're going to live on the dock. But if you really want to go cruise, and you really want to move, you're not going to have the power for that kind of stuff.
I agree. I'm going to get my stuff really quick and show them.
Microwave is really good to have, though. We didn't have a microwave on the first boat, and this boat does have a microwave and a convection. It's a convection oven too. We use the microwave all the time. We can use the microwave on battery power, so it pulls like 130 amps. Whenever
The
turn it on,
toaster is
but
also really nice.
toaster, yeah.
All right. So, these are some top items. Coffee mugs. This is by far my favorite, but I broke the handle. Alternative. So that's really nice to have if you like your coffee in the morning. Collapsible Tupperware. You need
Where do you
something.
get
I got it on Amazon. You know, if you're sailing, you want to put your stuff away really quick. This doesn't take up space.
Yeah, they're great.
Stays in place. Throw it in the fridge. Knives. This stays behind a lip, so it's not going to fall. These are super sharp knives.
Ceramic.
They're protected. They're ceramic. They're
Yeah,
not going to
if
rust.
you don't get ceramic, you'll get rust all over your stuff.
And then this thing. This was actually given to me by one of our really, really good friends. My
Yeho.
Ninja broke. And Yeho, yeah. So this actually goes on my larger blender, but this piece also comes with it. So this makes shifts for two different things.
that
It's like
Ninja?
a chopper. Yeah. Sits on top. I use this like every single day. And I use a toaster a lot of the times if you want to do like a hot sandwich and you don't want to throw it on the stovetop. So those are my go-to kitchen items.
Yeah, you don't need a bread maker.
No. Go to least
Books? I don't read.
Thorny Path if you're gonna go
Oh
that
yeah,
way.
if you're
get
gonna
the Thorny
go,
Path.
yeah, if you're gonna go Thorny Path down to the Windward Islands, to go through the Mona Passage and all that, there's a book about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good reading on it though, as far as blog posts and stuff. Look it up. Lots of good knowledge. What has been your most expensive repair so far and most frequent?
Batteries. Our batteries cost $7,000, and then and that was just the parts. Luckily, we found a guy that did it for the cost. And then most frequent repair?
What do we do most
Well, we do
frequently? Oil
water maker
changes.
strainers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, water maker filters, which I went through like 5 of them recently because we were having some hiccups with it. But
Least favorite chore, what's yours?
least favorite strainers.
Mine would be
I don't.
bathing the dog and cleaning up the dog pool. We have I'm sure you've
Which
seen
goes
on
back
videos.
to the man overboard drill.
Cleaning up the pee and the poo in the pool, especially under a crazy sail. You know, you're like rocking all over. You got to clip in and clean it.
If you can leave the dog home,
crazy.
leave the dog.
So those
We
are our
spent,
least favorite.
talking about expensive, we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars because we had the dog on board.
It'll be okay.
Thousands. The dog cost probably like $800. Thousands.
Do you maintain? I'm going to move right along. Do you maintain a storage on dry land to hold everything you can't take on the boat?
Yeah, we have a storage unit for our truck and some household goods, some dirt bikes, stuff like that. We don't have too much in storage, just some basic household stuff.
And like memories from the kids and stuff like that. Do you still follow the news from the U.S. or is that faded into a distant memory?
No, we actually make it a point not to follow the news from the U.S. It's just, it was a source of stress for both of us, and now that we don't, it's like, it's a huge relief. So no, we don't. Every once in a while, I'll see something, but I also can filter it out really quickly because I know a lot of it's crap.
That's it. Those are the questions.
All right.
So
Sweet.
I think that kind of sums it up. Got to enjoy your Red Bull during that.
It's been nice.
These were really good questions. I appreciate the couple that put this list together, and we're always willing to take more questions. We enjoy it. It gets us thinking.
Yeah.
For sure.
Coming up on the Lazy Geckos.
You're getting an A for effort.
Well, today's the big day. I'm excited to get to the boat today and move on.
Wild with New Jersey Boardwalk. Not that it's fixed, but we have tried.
Smells like throw up.
I have an hour left on my watch.
I'm passing by Calypso, North Carolina.
I know it's bad when you have your friend emailing you. Are you guys okay?
Here we go.
Good luck on your first cruising adventure.
Thank you. Ubers. Got an Uber to get some groceries, and we saw this cute little bar to stop at.
Here's your coffee.
Thank you, baby.
You ready for this?
No.
We're passing Billy Joel's estate.
If it lets loose, it's gonna probably plummet into our boat.
They were under the bow already.
VHF antenna firmly mounted.
Didn't really see the top at all. So you're right in front of us, it's gone.
Don't take me back! You can't take me back!
We're gonna turn north and probably put out the head sail.
Have a good time with it.
For your butt. Put it right under your butt.
Yucky day to come back into New York. What do you think?
About what? So you want to do some naked shots?
Probably.
Want more? Check us out at lazygeckos.net. Remember, patrons can get complimentary access. You can also visit our Vimeo channel. The link is below. Don't forget to click subscribe to get all of the fun. See you next week.